Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the Monkey Barrel Comedy Chat Show, or as Noah calls it, the MBCCS. I think those are all the right letters. Welcome along to another wonderful episode recorded here at Monkey Barrel Comedy Studios. Every week we have wonderful guest comedians visiting us, and I sit down with them and have a little bit of a chat. And today we have a wonderful guest. It's my very good friend, Alison Spittle.
Hello. How are you doing?
I know. Eventually, we're going to get a sound effect that goes, but we're building up to that. We'll eventually set up a Patreon where we'll have like poppers that'll go off.
Oh, beautiful.
But so far, it's usually a person going, hey, 90% of the time. Hello. So, Alison, oh my God. We've known each other. Long time no see. We've known each other for so many years.
I know.
Like, you can prove that I existed in Ireland. Claire doesn't believe it. She thinks I was just invented here.
Existed.
I existed in Ireland. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, we kind of came up doing comedy together in the chaos of the Dublin comedy scene.
Oof.
How would you explain to people how you started off in comedy? I think my first time meeting you, or the first time I remember meeting you, was you. I think you did the door for my first solo show, which was at
was that 10 Days in Dublin?
10 Days in Dublin, yeah.
What was that in
the International
the
Bar.
International? So
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I first got into comedy. So like I worked in a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a radio producer, and I was in college. And on Fridays, I had a day off college and I used to work in a radio station. Now I say work, volunteer, did not get paid.
Yeah, nobody gets paid in radio, it seems.
I know, yeah, exactly. You got to pay your dues.
Yeah.
But like a guy who worked at the radio station is a guy called Bernard O'Shea.
Oh, yes,
and he's a
of
stand-up
course.
comedian. And he was telling me all about like Edinburgh and all these types of things. And he said to me I should do stand-up. And I was like, no. And he's like, well, there's a gig with PJ Gallagher. He was the fella off the telly in Ireland.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a gig with him? And I was like, yeah, because I just wanted to meet someone off the telly.
Yeah.
So I wrote like 5 minutes of material on my like granny drinking hot tub water and stuff. I'd no material. I just libeled my gran for a full like 5 minutes, and I did it, and I felt this adrenaline and this feeling that was like the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life. Still, you know,
Still
there's
is.
nothing.
When you
adds
write
up
like
to
a
it.
new bit of material and you go on stage and you perform it and it goes great and you get that kind of, oh yeah, that's why I do this.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you're
you
like-
forget you're so in the weeds of, working on a show, putting things together and doing well
Yeah.
at night, and then you just have a nice little bit and you go, oh, that's the feeling.
Yeah,
That
you just
little
get full of yourself. You're like, whose gig is this? It's my gig. Sorry.
good luck following that, losers. Oh wait, I'm the headliner.
Yeah,
Knock all the
yeah.
drinks over.
Absolutely. So I wish I made that noise.
Yeah.
Wait, very welcome to the podcast, Alison. Yeah. So that's how I got into it. And
I like the idea of you having a war horn whenever you enter a space.
Yes,
Like, welcome to the show tonight. Like the room shaking.
yeah, room
Whoa.
shaking. It's Alison. Ooh.
Light the beacon. Allison's here.
Take shelter. Whoa.
So where was that first gig?
First gig was in a place called PJ Kavanagh's
Oh,
in
yeah.
Laois.
I know that.
And I got a lift to the venue, and it was like a really like I had 2 weeks, and I'd never watched stand up before, or like because I lived in like rural Ireland.
Yeah.
And I watched Live at the Apollo just to get a reference.
Which is such an insane. It's like I want to make a selfie video. I want to film my cat eating. I better watch The Matrix first in terms of difference
just
between
see what
scale.
the form is. Yeah. And I watched it, and it was like comedians talking about their background and stuff.
Yeah.
Like because the TV, and like why would so I was like, oh, I'll just give my background then. So I was like, my dad's English and all this type of thing, and
Which is good. Like that's a good lesson
that's
to
good
kind
that
of
my
learn.
dad is English. No, it is not.
Well, that's not good. That's terrible.
No.
But it is good to
I'm
kind of.
sullied, George. My blood is sullied with Englishness. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I have a British partner, so
Do
I've
you?
sullied
British?
myself. So
British.
I've,
Are they Scottish?
it's Scottish.
That
yeah.
you're fine.
But when we were like staying in hotels in other countries and it writes down nationality, you should write down British. And one time I just scribbled it and said, write Scottish.
Scottish.
She's like,
yeah.
but they might not know. And I was like,
God has
write
given you a
Scottish.
gift.
Yeah.
You know?
It's wonderful.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But I do think one of the lessons you kind of learn in comedy is you try to give the audience like a flavor of yourself, like an idea. Like
Yes.
jokes are great, but if you can kind of give people an essence that they can grab onto or a vibe.
Yeah, because you're kind of going, I don't know, like maybe, like I definitely did fat jokes as well when I first started doing comedy. It was just so stupid.
Oh, it's so, we all do that
it's
thing
not.
of like.
It's just like that thing of like, I better address it before they.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one gives.
But
no
also,
one-
it's a thing in your head of like, do I have to kind of apologize for even thinking I can do this? Is this allowed?
I
Like,
exist
do I
as
have
a
to
fat
attack
person.
it?
Is this my brand?
Yeah.
Am I? What am I?
Am I allowed to be here? Look, I know you all want to boo me and attack me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I promise you, I'll do it for you.
Let me live. I'll flagellate myself for you. Throwing myself on the stage.
Oh,
like, is this okay? Ooh. So like,
Have I done it? Have you taken pity on me yet? Like, it's fucking.
yeah.
Oh.
So like that's when I first started doing comedy. No, do you know what? I'll tell you one of my first jokes. Are you okay with the mic? Do you want me to bring it up? Oh, perfect. Good. I was like, because I moved it down to drink some water. And then I was like, oh, not water, Diet Coke. Why am I lying?
Yeah, we're branding. We're trying to brand here.
I am
Diet
a fat
Coke.
person. I do drink
It's
Diet
the taste
Coke.
of comedians.
It is. So like one of my, I was going around the office asking, have people seen stand up and stuff and what do they like? And it was, this is before I did my first gig. And one of the ladies was like, just look, come here. I watched a comedian there a few months ago. It was really awkward. They were doing like paedophile and suicide jokes. And like, you're just going to lose a crowd. And I was like, yeah. So then my first joke was, I've been advised not to say any paedophile or suicide jokes, which brings me round to the time that Gary Glitter came round my house and put a pencil up each nostril and slammed his face off my dining room table. And it's just like it's really, because like when you first start, you're like, oh, I'm on stage, I'm allowed to do stuff.
Yeah. And
it's like you're a kid. You know, you ever see a kid and they're toddling about and they shit in their nappy and they put their hands down in front of their nappy and and you're like, why would you do that? I was like, because they can.
Because they can.
Because no one has told them they can.
Exactly. You're exploring the rules. I feel like in your early times in comedy, you want to like expand out enough to see like what are the walls of this that I'm allowed to do.
Like expanding a nappy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
and then people rush in and go, no, you're not allowed to say things like that, but you can rip into yourself. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It would be really funny if like you saw like a mother go, this is my little edgelord. You know?
Here he comes.
He's exploring boundaries.
He's on his Joe Rogan vitamins, and God, he's doing great.
Skibbity toilet.
He's on Skibbity toilet, and he's he's having a wonderful time. He's already harassing people in Montessori.
The
he's
terrible
doing
twos.
harassing people online.
Yes.
Oh, great. A female teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So when like you were like in Dublin doing comedy and I came up and stuff and like that's I haven't seen you in ages.
It's been ages. Yeah.
I'm really happy that you're like living here and thriving. Just want to say that. Apart from the podcast. Yeah.
Apart from podcast. The podcast is not thriving. Oh, no. Podcast aside. Well, thank you.
You're doing great. And it's great.
Good. Well, I'm glad to see that, you're over here in the UK as well and you're doing fucking great. Always see you doing lots of different things. I mean, you did so much.
Check my bank account, George. Oh, you'll see.
Oh, please. We all know that. But, I mean, that's the same for all of us. But you in Ireland, you had a sitcom, you had multiple TV shows, you did lots of stuff over there. And then you've come over here, you've done so many things. It blew my mind when you had the podcast with Kerry Katona.
Yes.
Made me so happy.
Oh, that was because she's a childhood hero of mine. Yeah. So it was pretty great.
It was so funny when you posted because I was like, I bet you're fucking delighted.
Oh my God. I was like, yip, 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 yip.
And I could imagine like the two of you having such a good vibe. And then I saw it and I was like, this is exactly what I wanted.
I love her. I love, I do. I love her. She was very nice to my cousin in a petrol station in Galway 25 years ago. And like from that moment, she's golden in my family. Like genuinely,
that's amazing.
Her and Freddie Mercury are the like two celebrities that they love.
Stories like that get on. Have you ever heard the story where after sorry to talk about suicide, but after Kurt Cobain had ended his life,
yes,
Dave Grohl didn't know what he wanted to do afterwards, so he went on this like world trip, and he ended up in Ireland, and he ended up like in a car in the middle of nowhere down in Kerry, and he's driving down, and there's a car, some guys like wave him down, going, oh, could you give us a lift back into town? And he's like, oh, we're going the other way. But as he pulled up, the guy was wearing a Kurt Cobain t-shirt.
Wow.
And he was like, this feels like it's the middle of nowhere and I'm still seeing him. So I need to turn around and confront this and deal with it. And so that's how he made the Foo Fighters.
Wow.
And there's a
Did
video.
he give that guy the lift?
Well, no, he didn't. They just kept going.
This is not a...
That guy, he told that story, and that guy found that story and posted online. Him and his brother were like, yeah, it was us. And here's a picture of us that we took that day, and they're wearing the fucking t-shirt.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Did they get to their destination in time? Was he like, I needed a liver transplant, and that liver got warm?
I had a third brother, and then he died, so that I went on the road trying to find myself, and then I saw Dave Grohl wearing a t-shirt of my brother, and oh my god, sunrise, sunset.
Beautiful.
So something we like to do to stress and also relax our guests is the Instagram deep dive. So we're going to jump into Instagram, and we're going to find one of your old posts that you're going to have
I'm going to get cancelled.
deal with. Oh, all of these come from 2020. 2020 was so insane. So for people listening on Spotify or wherever you get podcasts, this is you in a house on a bike with a box of tissues tied to the front, and you're wearing, I think, is that like a coat or a boiler suit?
That's a coat boiler suit, yes.
Coat boiler suit, and you're using a towel as, there's so much to go through. A towel as a cape, you have a mustache drawn on, you're wearing some fantastic shades and a bike helmet.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And the message underneath is cool beans, it's hot rod on co-video party night. So that's an amazing thing. I think you were the first person to figure out, oh, we can do fun stuff during COVID.
Yeah.
And the name was
Not
so
yet,
good.
sorry.
Co-video party.
Yeah, it's I mean, like, co-video party, it was the day, so all my tour got cancelled, and I think, like, I'd watched the film Cats with my partner in Oxford, in the cinema, and then everything got shut down, and I was like, right, I'm never going to be able to go to cinema again and chat about what a crazy film that was. Because the biggest enjoyment I got out of watching Cats was not the music or the film itself, but was the experience of staring into the love of my life's eyes going, what is this?
Turning around to other people and being like, what is happening?
Yes, exactly.
What are we engaging in?
So I went on Twitter, RIP, and said, do you want to watch a film tonight? And we all watched Clueless, I think.
Oh, that's great.
And we were
First
tweeting along.
choice.
And then people were like, do you want to do this tomorrow? I was like, yeah, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. So we did it for like a year and a half every day and watched a different film. People could vote on it because I hate making decisions. And do you know what's interesting is, like, we ended up watching Getting to the Greek. Have you ever seen Getting to the Greek?
Yeah.
With Russell Brand
and
P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
It's aged like a fine wine.
What's his name? Jesus Christ.
Jonah Hill as well.
Jonah Hill as well.
He got a, not the...
Wow, what a movie that you can't ever watch again.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
But yeah, that film is like, it had that weird mid-2000s trope of men getting sexually assaulted for comedy.
Yeah.
Do you know that kind of thing?
There is. Like, it's usually in movies, it's when a guy goes to prison.
Yes.
And if they want to, the subtlest I've ever seen the joke was like a guy's hands on the bar and then another pair of bigger hands with tattoos come over the guy's hands, and you go, why is that the joke? The carceral system
punishing with violence. It's all the... Yeah, it's all
like, are there no guards in this prison?
So, like, we were watching it, and then, like, just people were tweeting, if you've been affected, and I was like, this is a bad film. Do you know what I mean? It's not good. So the only rule for co-video party was no films like Contagion, or anything like that about illness.
Yeah.
But it was, and I used to dress up as the characters from the films because I had nothing else to do.
Yeah, I mean, we had nothing else to do.
Nothing
but it was
else
so many people were just like, I'm just going to stare. People, there's a thing now where young people will do this thing called raw dogging, where they'll like sit on a plane and just stare at the map and not have any other outside stimulus for like 6 or 7 hours. But I feel like a lot of people did that for life during COVID, just sat in a room. I
put 6 pieces of chicken ham on my forehead to look like Worf out of Star Trek.
No,
like, I did.
That's great.
Yeah, it stank.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Good old Michael Dorn would have loved that. The actor from Star Trek. Well, that's one of, I think, the best ways to have spent lockdown.
I don't know, like
making something different that's unique for that time, I feel.
Yeah, my boyfriend got COVID pretty early, and we were living in a house with like 5 other people, and he had to. I think I went a bit mad at the start of COVID. Like,
I think that's totally reasonable. If you're going to go mad at any point in your life, like, oh, well, there was a worldwide pandemic, and you go, yeah, sure.
Do you ever get nostalgic for elements of COVID?
Yeah, I do think every year between Christmas and New Year's, it should be lockdown.
Yes.
Everyone inside for a whole week, and then the year starts and we get to have that week to reflect on it. And everyone knows to buy in enough food to last the week. And nobody's working. There's no crazy sales. There's no bullshit.
You bring yourself out for a little walk.
Yeah, go for a walk and just have a chill time. And it just gives everyone a chance to reflect. Because we all did pretty good at the start of lockdown. When we went into it, everyone was like, hey, we're all staying indoors. We're all doing good.
Because we all thought it was going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then it ended up being 3 months and people started going, I want a haircut in America. And you're like, fuck. And they started coughing each other's face.
Inject bleach.
Pull all my veins out and then sit in a sunbed machine. You're like,
kill Rita Ora. She's had a party. We must kill Rita Ora.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, the Prime Minister's had a party. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. What about that?
Business.
It's the Rita Ora. That's the real problem here.
Absolutely.
The Rita Ora variant of COVID that's gone around. So we have some questions for you from last week's guest. Last week's guest was the wonderful Celya AB. And Celya has sent in
wow.
3 questions for you. So let's check them out now.
Hi Alison, here are your 3 questions. Question number 1, what is the first thing that you remember buying with your own money? Question number 2, you're starting from scratch on a new phone, you're about to board a 10-hour flight, you've got an hour to download stuff on airport Wi-Fi. What do you download? And question number 3, if you could give someone in your life a superpower, what would the superpower be and who would you give it to? Bye!
Thank you, Celya. That's amazing questions. Number 2 is such a comedian question as well. When you're in an airport and you're like, I need to download something right now.
I know.
So question number 1 is, what is the first thing that you remember buying with your own money?
Does this mean money that I've earned?
Yeah. Or it can be money from comedy if you want to do it that way.
Is it money, like, do you know the way you're gifted money from adults? Is that your money?
I don't think so. I think we go for
no communion money.
Like not communion money, but like your first job or
first job. Yeah, that's cool. I bought the big purchase I remember getting was a Zen MP3 player.
Oh my God. You have just given me such a wash of nostalgia.
Really?
The Zen MP3 player. I love that. The Creative Zen.
Zen.
Little, like, and it was huge like a brick.
It was huge like a brick.
But it was way better than the iPod when the iPod was doing the same thing. It was great.
I used to like download stuff off LimeWire and stuff like that. Yeah. So what would it have been?
You'd download videos and you'd be like, I really hope this is the album by The Offspring.
Baby Cakes by 3 of a Kind.
I really hope this isn't that video of that man getting killed by that horse. Why is it floating out there?
Why not both? Why not both? That would be a great music. Yeah.
Original prankster.
Yes. It was a Zen MP3 player. I think that was the first thing that I bought with my earned money.
I think mine might have been, around about like early days of like having a job. I think I got something similar, like an MP3 player.
It's always.
I think it was maybe the Zen.
That's cool.
That's nuts.
That is nuts.
But it is nice because it was the first time where you'd be like, I'm downloading my own music from the internet to take around with me and listen to.
Off my mother's computer, using her internet,
using IOL, Ireland Online, with a special service where you're only allowed to use it between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Oh, stop. I was non-stop in chat rooms when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
ASL, 16, California, female. That's all the time. Hobbies, surfing.
I used to go into chat rooms and then like get in rows with people. And I'm like, I'm reporting you to the mod. And then I'd come back in, they had no rules. So I put my name as admin. And I'd be like, hey, it says to me like you've been being aggressive to people. I'm going to have to block you and delete your email address. And the person's like, oh my God, please don't.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I genuinely used to like, I've said this on other podcasts, but I used to like, I used to hunt down pedophiles on chat rooms, even though I was 11 myself. I thought, like, if you typed in the word paedophile into a chat room, the police would come. And I'd be like, by the way, I'm not 16, I'm 11. Like, that would be fine.
You're in trouble now, pal.
Oh, buddy.
This is why I was excited to have you on the podcast. I knew at some point you would break me, and that is You're doing that at 11, and now it's the job of weirdos on the internet
I
now to do it.
Genuinely, I watched them and I'm like, that could have been a different path for me. If I didn't get into comedy, I'd be like, and how old was the person you thought you were speaking? We're outside of Morrison's, you know?
Those videos are so weird, though. It's
I
like,
know.
why are you, how, like, looking at this scenario and everything, why do I like you guys less?
I know. Why are you putting me on the side of a paedophile? Why am I rooting for the pedo?
Like, this person's awful, but you're rude and mean.
Yeah, that's true. No need to be personal about it.
He said he was going to go on his phone and prove, no, okay, you've
What are you
taken it
bringing
off
up his looks for? What is this? I can't believe this paedophile is fat phobic. Like, this is a disgrace. They're cancelled.
Oh my God. They're everywhere now. I still can't believe that's
fat
the thing.
people are paedophiles?
The paedophile hunters.
Oh yes, yeah, paedophile hunters. Yeah. They are everywhere. They're on all different medias and everything like that. I've never I was into To Catch a Predator.
Yeah,
I watched that.
But that seemed almost classy in comparison. It's like, take a seat.
Yeah, but why do you have a swill of brandy there? While we wait for the police to turn up.
Why don't we light some candles?
You want to put on a dinner jacket?
How do you feel about Yacht Rock? Do you like Yacht Rock? I'm putting some Christopher Cross for you right now.
Yeah, and then just put on the carpet. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby, 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 baby.
And here's 17 times you told this baby you love them. Oh, you're in big trouble, pal. Big trouble. Oh
yes.
my God.
What were the other questions?
The other questions were question number 10.
Yeah.
I'd like to remind everyone that we got to that from the question 1, which was, what's the first thing that you remember buying with your own money? We somehow got to Catch a Predator. Question number 2 was, you're starting from scratch on a new phone.
Yes.
You're about to go on a 10-hour flight. You've got an hour to download stuff on the airport, terrible Wi-Fi.
Yes.
What are you downloading?
I'm getting To Catch a Predator. Series 1 and 2 and 3. The early years when it was good.
You know
when they jumped the shark.
You know the way they do the catch-up episodes like Gordon Ramsay, where they'll go back and look at the restaurants? They've never done that with that, have they?
No, because it's always going to be like with Gordon Ramsay episodes. It's always it'll be like the end of the episode is like some person with severe mental health issues walking around their beige, beautiful restaurant where Gordon Ramsay's made it look the same as every other piece of shit.
Yeah,
and then they go, it closed down 6 months later. So what it's going to be about it's going to be like, he took his own life. It is going to be that. And then that's what it's going to be.
Alison, you're not following the 2 rules of comedy.
I know.
No, that is probably accurate. Yeah, and it's weird because those Gordon Ramsay ones, someone said that like 97% of them closed within 2 years of him.
Yeah, definitely. My favorite episode is ABC Kitchen.
Oh yeah,
which is, I can't remember. It's about this woman who has a bakery. And she just starts screaming at people. I mean, this is no different from any other episode, but it's a really good one. Yeah. I'll Google it after and give you a proper lowdown. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Question number 3 was, if you could give someone in your life a superpower, what would the superpower be, and who would you give it to?
I'd give it to the paedophile hunters. It would be chemical castration.
Like they admit it? Yeah. So they walk up and the guy's like, oh my God. And they go, don't worry about it, pal.
They don't have to make videos and get themselves so angry. They're like, the problem is sorted.
like they just strap him to a chair and one of them has to just cut, like Magneto go, whoa, 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 whoa.
He's turned it on himself. Him staring at his own balls.
Oh my God. Well, that's good.
I hope that's answered your question, Celya.
Yeah, Celya, I bet you didn't think it was going to go this direction, but that's the direction it went.
Sometimes I'm like, why can't I get on TV? And then I'm like, because I do stuff like this. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like,
For anyone watching this right now, if you could please do us a favor and put this YouTube video on your TV, so at least
yes,
in some manner we can take a photo. Please tag Monkey Brown on it. We'd love to see it. Okay, so wonderful answers to those questions. A wonderful theme throughout the podcast so far. We've come to our favorite part of the show where we play a game. This game is about icks, and I've
Beautiful.
named this to nobody's delight, Big Ick Energy.
Big ick energy. Nice, nice,
So,
nice.
We're going to take these cards, and I'm just going to shuffle them all, and you're going to pick one card that you want from all of these.
Pick one that your thumb is laying on that side. Or do you want me to reach over?
Well,
Okay, wait there.
You can grab anyone you want.
Then do I take it and do I?
You can look at that, and I need to pick one randomly as well. Look at me. I'm looking at the camera. I can't be cheating if I'm looking at the camera. Boom, I've got one. Okay, so we'll put these away. And you'll have two options there of different icks. I have two options of different icks here. We're going to pick one that you want to present towards Claire as what we want. Well, we're going to show it to her in a minute. We're going to tell her them. We're going to find out what Claire thinks is the worst ick.
Okay.
So you've got two options. I've got two options. Claire's going to pick the best ick for us.
Okay.
And it's what Claire finds an ick. So.
Okay. Do we get to give context of like
Yes,
if I
you can,
went if
you can tell us the one you don't want first if you want.
Oh, the one I don't want is probably they lick their fingers before turning a page in a book. Because that person's literate. You should be happy that your potential partner is able to read. You should be like, wow, they know how to open a book.
Okay.
Imagine what they can do with those hands, you know? Sorry.
Okay, this one we've had before, so I'm gonna pick a different one randomly.
Okay.
Oh my god, the one I've picked is terrible. Okay,
Is it?
Let me look at this. Oh my god, this one's terrible.
They
There's
have To Catch a Predator on DVD.
I'm almost sure To Catch a Predator isn't referenced in
Box
these.
set.
That would be an ick, to be fair.
The director's commentary. That guy's
I
dead.
just love the idea of you seeing that box set and then going, whose side are you on in this? It's Game of Thrones to them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so, the one that I think Claire might not mind is seeing them wink at themselves in the mirror. I don't know if that's the worst one of these. What do you think, Claire?
I don't love it.
You don't love it.
Love it.
But if they're like drunk or
If they're drunk.
Or if they're
Like-
trying to do affirmations but be cheeky with it. So
yeah,
they're like,
or if they're just
You know?
really feeling themselves that day.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
I think that's fine. That's what I thought she was
they're
going to
like,
say.
no one is talking about you. Oh wait, that's bad because you're winking. That means they are.
That's what Russell Brand would do. No one's talking about me, baby.
Yeah.
They're still watching Get Him to the Greek.
Got the lawyers. Got the lawyers.
Okay. And what's the one you want to go for? What's the one you think?
I'm gonna go for this. They make TikToks, but they don't get any views.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Okay. And the one
Especially if they're paedophile hunters. Sorry. Like, are they
How
actually?
do you
If
adapt
a
that?
pedophile is caught in a Morrison's car park, but there's no one there to film it, were they actually caught? Do you know what I mean? Were they? Sorry.
I love that you just looked at me and said, sorry. I know you don't want this on the podcast.
I know, it's so
Listen, I said this would be chaos.
Can I say as well, the Monkey Barrel, they endorse everything I say. the name on
signages
it, the
everywhere.
branding.
Okay. All right. Well, if this gets released, it's tantamount to agreeing. Okay. So the one I've got is they let the full 30-second ad play before showing you a YouTube video. They can click skip after 5 seconds, but they let the whole 30-second ad play.
What's the ad for?
Yeah, okay, yeah. If
What's
it's like
the ad?
the John Lewis advert, that's fine.
That's fine.
I think
Don't you say paedophile? They don't do those adverts on YouTube.
Pedophiles are us. Do you know? Like, sorry.
I think that's fine. That's annoying, but
Yeah.
it's not an ick. But interestingly, I went out with someone and they worked in a bar and they like made the TikToks for the bar.
Oh, yeah.
And so to give myself the ick after like it ended, I would watch those TikToks to be like,
That's
oh
very
God, yeah,
good.
thank God I'm like not.
That's very wise.
There's no-
Like I watched it to give me the ick.
Yeah.
I get
So-
that.
You use the ick in a positive way to
Yeah.
push you,
You
away
turned
from
the
someone.
ick gun on yourself.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
know,
this is so disgusting.
Why
I'm
is
so
everything
glad.
suicide? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Do you think I've been marked by that person giving me that one piece of advice years ago?
Did they say it and then give you a coin that disappeared in your hand?
Yeah,
Is it the old lady from Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
Who just like, can I come in? Oh, I'd rather you didn't. Well, now I'm going to curse everyone in your castle who works for you.
And
They
you're
did
just
nothing.
going to constantly refer to catch a predator. There will be no other reference. There will be, sorry. Go on.
So, okay. Which one would you choose out of the two of those, Claire? Which one's the worst? Although, what if it's an ad for Joe Rogan's podcast or something like that? Are you going to be like, oh?
I think I'm definitely going for the TikToks with no views.
TikToks with no views. You've used it
personal
as well.
experience, yeah.
Yeah, you've definitely
You've
used
lost,
it.
George. Accept it.
I will. I'll accept it. The comedians keep winning. I just can't figure out
Comedy
Claire's-
wins.
I thought for sure, it's like saying the most annoying thing. I'm going to win every one of these. Claire's gonna be like, George. So we're going to let you do your plugs now that you can do. So you can think about those for a second.
Are
I'll
we
just
done?
Say,
I'm so sorry. I thought I'd talk about something more than to catch it.
well, listen, I was very, very excited to go full chaos, but I have to go host a show in 15 minutes, 14
Beautiful.
minutes. But you are the first person that I'm going to give a full open invitation to come back again and be our first ever second back guest.
Oh
Which
my gosh, that'd be
sounds fun, but
amazing.
Claire's already like, I don't know how the fuck we're going to do that. We're going to see, we might have someone in the future. But definitely, I want to see you back again in the future and for us to go
Beautiful.
completely wild and try not to talk about those two topics again.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Don't be silly.
We've scratched the itch. It's gone now.
It's
I
gone
will
now.
never even think about it.
That's usually what happens. You scratch an itch and it goes away, or it doesn't fester and spread.
No. It's in my eyes.
So for those of you watching at home, if you enjoyed the episode today, please leave us a little rating on Spotify, a little 5-star rating. If you're watching on YouTube, please give a like and subscribe to the Monkey Barrel Comedy channel. There's videos coming out all the time from the wonderful other podcasts that are recorded here in the studio. If you'd like to see me, I stream on twitch.tv/Fox Comedy every Sunday to Thursday. And I also host Monkey Barrel's 5 p.m. show here every weekend. I'd love to see you. And Alison, you have some wonderful things you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I got a podcast called Magazine Party that's coming out with Poppy Hillstead
Ooh.
soon. Very excited about that. And I'm going to do a show at the Fringe. Don't know when or where, but it is called Fat Bitch. So if you have a look out, if you just Google fat bitches in your local area, Edinburgh Fringe 25, you should find me.
I'm so excited to see what the poster is. That's going to be great.
Yes.
It's going to be very exciting. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Big thank you to you, to Claire, to my wonderful guest, Alison Spittle. I've been George Fox, and we'll see you again next week on Monkey Barrel Comedy Chat Show. Bye.
There's something hiding under the ice, imitation of a sound. There's something standing behind the door.